we go, bro. So, welcome everybody to the first Black in Mexico podcast. This is episode one of many. Make sure y'all join the group. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is Black in Mexico. The group is Black in Mexico on Facebook. You will see a banner pop up with my picture on it. But make sure you go ahead and subscribe on YouTube and join the Facebook group so you don't miss out on anything that we might bring to y'all. Today's episode, which is the first episode, again, we're going to be talking about the reasons why we moved to Mexico and just like some of our experiences since we've been here. Um, we got Ivan on the episode today. Ivan is also my business partner throughout the whole Black in Mexico, teaching everybody the courses and all the information you need about moving to Mexico. I mean, he was the biggest help to me moving here because, of course, I didn't know the first thing first about being here, and he has been here for years and years before me, as well as just having family here as well. So it was a big help learning from him, so I can imagine like the value that we could bring other people with them learning from us while they're making a transition to Mexico. So I'll let him get started first on the reason he moved here or what brought him here, and you can go from there.
All right. Well, welcome everyone. As you said, my name's Ivan. I'm going to be helping you guys out with a lot of these courses, a lot of the coaching, and pretty much any questions, concerns, anything that you guys got for me to be able to just kind of dissect it. So, why did we move to, or why did I move to Mexico? I moved over here about 3.5 years ago. I actually used to be a branch manager at US Bank. And one of the biggest things, and I'm sure it's something that everyone's come across, is I was a branch manager and I worked 6 days out of the week, pretty much what, like 9 hours, 10 hours a day when things don't get done. And that was probably one of the biggest things that got me over here. I was always working. I never had any time to myself. And honestly, I got a little bit chunky when I was doing that. So I didn't really take care of myself that much. And then what happened was when the pandemic hit, I ended up having some time off because all the branches started closing and we couldn't accept any clients coming in. So they gave us time off, and what I did from there is I actually came to see my grandma who lives in Durango. I didn't get to see her that much to begin with, and I thought maybe with all this time it'd be a good idea to come and visit her, and I guess get a little bit more insight on my own culture, right? Because a lot of the time I was living in the United States in Arizona. So I
Did
came
you
out here. Go ahead.
did you speak fluent Spanish before you came here?
No, I didn't. I think so. I spoke enough for someone to know what I wanted to. I could communicate, but it wasn't enough to really do anything. Like even when I got here, I know that when I was trying to like order food, I would always make mistakes with that. Or if I needed directions, I made mistakes with that. Or if I just talked to anybody in general, they'd give me a little like one of those. But I mean, being here, I think in the first like 2 months, I think like in a scale of 1 to 10, I probably hit like a 7 as far as how much comfortable I could be. But keep in mind, I didn't know that much Spanish. I just knew enough to kind of I guess like enough to communicate and live by. But I had no way of having communication with anybody, or if I wanted to go out on a date, I couldn't do that. That was a little difficult. If I
Yeah,
wanted to, um, well, like I said, even the biggest part was the food part because that's one of the biggest things that I mean I had to eat every day, and I was out at the grocery stores or even at the marketplace, so that was a big deal.
I think
And
those was like some of the first words I learned after moving here, like certain vegetables or certain foods and stuff to order.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
probably the first thing most people gonna learn. But I want you to go ahead and pick up with what you were saying about when you decided to visit your grandmom, and then um, how did that transition into you just making a full commitment to moving out here?
yeah. So I don't know. So if you guys look up Durango on the map, it's there's not a lot going on there, but the thing is there's Mexico is like it's narrow, right? So you can get from one side of the country to the other, and literally about 2.5, 3 hours away is Mazatlan, and I went to go visit that first, and it's a really, really beautiful beach. And I figured, you know what, I never been to any other areas. I never even really been to Durango. And I figured I should go check out some other places. I've seen so many. Everyone always thinks that, I'm sure you guys seen it, where there's like a video that says what people think Mexico looks like, and it's like all like a yellow background, um, like these busted ass houses, and just nothing in general. It looks all messed up, but in reality, there's a lot going on here. And I mean, if anything, you could probably explain to Alan, because you haven't really been over here to Mexico until you came out here with me.
Yeah.
Uh, and even before that, like, you're used to Chicago.
Anywhere in the states but Mexico. Like my first trip to Mexico was in 2018, and I went to Sonora, which is Rocky Point. I'm sure most of the people in Arizona and like that side, yeah, they know what it is. But that was my first trip, and even like going there, I was somewhat on edge about it because of everything you see in the media and what they're telling you about Mexico. But it's totally different when you come here and actually experience it. Like I was unaware that even simple things like that. There was a Walmart here, or certain stores that existed here that didn't exist in the U.S. I mean, that did exist in the U.S. So you're just ignorant to a lot of things because that's what the media puts out there to you. But totally different. Everything, like you can find a lot of stuff that's up to par or better than some places in the US, I would say. But of course, like the US has more disposable income and more people investing money there, but the lifestyle change isn't really that different. Like you still can live good here as good as you were living out there.
You know what? That's a good spot to start on. Um, so as far as like the lifestyle, I mean, really, like how, like what I was talking about, that I would work a bunch of hours.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I don't here now. So I mean, that's a really big lifestyle change. I'm much more calm.
Yeah,
Much more calm. I
yeah.
think like, moving here was definitely one of the best decisions of my life, and I mean, I wouldn't really go anywhere else. I'm pretty happy here.
So, and we're gonna jump deeper into like the lifestyle of being here. I mean, both of us can expand on that, but um, really quick. So I give y'all a quick background on how I ended up here because even in like some of the comments on videos I post online, people seeming like I'm escaping inflation, which of course inflation in the U.S. is high. But the reason I came over here was to do some business with him. Like we have a company that we were working on, and I came over here to build the company and just be in person and interact that way. And I started liking the environment. I like the peace and tranquility that I got here, and so on and so forth. So I ended up staying here and just building that life here from there. But I didn't come to escape everything or anything that was going on in the U.S. I mean, I was totally fine in the U.S. But when you do come here, it's eye opening to the two different worlds. I would say like you're more open to what's going on there. I mean, you can see visually what's going on there as opposed to the lifestyle here. And it's almost like the complete opposite because what they try to make Mexico to be is almost like what US is. So it's crazy on that front. But that's
All right, what happened?
can you hear me?
What happened?
We just had a glitch. It's still recording though.
I put myself all caps so I don't look stupid by myself, but that's one thing we're all gonna that's one thing we're gonna talk about, guys. Is I don't know if
I
it
don't
was
know.
a internet glitch or if your computer just in general.
I don't know what happened there. It just said oops. So yeah, hopefully, I mean it says we still at 9 minutes and 53 seconds. That's about how long we've been on, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's what mine's showing.
Okay, so we good on that. But yeah, that's my short of why I came here. I mean, we'll go deeper into it over the course of us doing this podcast. We'll dive deeper into a lot of different things. But let's talk about the lifestyle upgrade of being in Mexico versus in the US.
So the lifestyle change. For one, obviously things are gonna be a lot cheaper here, right? So, for example, um, right now I live in Querétaro, which is one of the most expensive states to live in, and even then, my apartment is what like I think it's like $450 a month, and that's pretty much everything included. Matter of fact, my light bill just came in today. I'll just show it on here too. I'm pretty sure you can see that there. How do you
326.
326, which comes out to I think in today's rate like $18, something like that.
Super.
But that's being one of the most. This is one of the most expensive states to live in. Alan, you live in Tampico, which I mean, you guys have AC units, but even with AC units, having them on all day is still not that bad. I remember, I remember having like $400 light bills in Arizona. That's what the AC unit's on. And even then, I know there's times where you pay like $100, but that's you have washer, you have a dryer, your lights are always on, you're at home, you do a lot of your work from home. So I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
Still, there's nothing compared to
yeah.
400 compared
Nothing
to
compared
$100.
to nothing compared to Arizona. I seen $500 light bills in just apartment, so it was crazy.
I'm pretty sure that's what a lot of people want to know. As far as if we're saying lifestyle, I think that's probably one of the biggest things that people want to know is
Yeah,
how much things are going to cost. Matter of fact, just to kind of give an example of even food too. Keep in mind, I'm in one of the more expensive states, and I'm in a luxury area. I just ordered some food over here. We use Rappi, guys. It's like what is it like DoorDash or Uber Eats over
yeah.
there?
And Uber Eats does exist here too, people, in some
Yeah,
spots.
we have Uber Eats here. So my order, how do you even see it? Total charge. I'm trying to see what it is that I got for food. No order details. Oh, here you go. Okay, so how do you? Might
See,
be a little hard to see.
bring it a little bit closer. It should correct. There it go. I can see it a little bit.
It's not gonna be that well, but anyways, I got six tacos and a Coke, and it costed me like $7. And again, this is a richer area, more luxury area, and and I even the tip. I tipped 10 pesos, which is like 50 cents. Which is still not that bad. Where Alan lives in Tampico, he lives in a beach town, and even that's still cheaper than what I just got right now. So it's not bad at all. But yeah,
Yeah,
we have that here. I don't drive. I used to drive out in Arizona. I don't drive here. I go in Uber everywhere, and even then, that doesn't cost a lot. I think Alan, you pay like $1 to go to the gym, right?
yeah,
Something
maybe
like
$1.25. It just depends on what the rate is, but yeah, it's super cheap to get anywhere in an Uber. The food is super cheap to order. Like he was just saying, like in the US, you might pay $8-9 just for delivery. While here you can get a whole meal for $8-9. So that's a total difference. I mean, you're cutting pretty much your expenses in half when you do move here. Sometimes it's even less than that, just depending on how you want to live. Some people choose to live a little more, a little less. A little more frugal, and some people choose to like live a luxury life in another country, but it's still going to be cheaper than if you were living the same in the U.S.
yeah, yeah. Another thing. So just because I was trying to figure out what's like some other lifestyle choices people make, um, and I would say I would say let's talk about the food because it says like eating healthy. That's like a lifestyle change people make.
Uh huh.
Uh, will you eat healthy here? Maybe not. Not because it's
Eat
not
healthy,
around. It's just that the food is really good. It's very tasty, but a lot of it's gonna be like, I mean,
fattening.
it's tacos. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then so different regions. I mean, some food might take. Would you agree that the food over here tastes better than it does over there in the state that you at?
Yeah. Over here, I don't want to say it's more Americanized, but it's like a little bit more bland as far as like the
Yeah, the
taste of food over
seasoning.
here where I'm at. But I mean, I've been to all of Mexico, and every single state has different kinds of foods that they're known for, just like it would be in United States, right?
Right.
Like, what in Texas they got what barbecue
Barbecue.
out there.
Yeah,
Um, what would you say is like a big thing over there in like Georgia or in like
well,
Chicago?
Chicago pizza, hot dogs, and things like that. Same thing with New York. You got some places known for like steak houses and things like that. And it's the
Mhm.
same, like you just said, same thing here in this country. Like some places are known for certain dishes, but either
Yeah.
way it goes, I mean, you're still going to be able to explore and just experience and decide what you like. Because some people don't like food that's super seasoned. I mean, I'm not one of them, but some people don't like it. But overall, I mean, it's hard to not eat that type of stuff because you're in the country, you're wanting to explore the culture and actually try the foods that the people in the country make. So it's
Hold
hard.
that thought about the food real quick. My food just got here, so give me a second. But let's keep going on about that so I can show
Yeah,
what we
for sure. So what I'm saying to you guys is it's a little bit hard to eat healthy, but when you do make that switch and decide to eat healthy, I mean the groceries are cheaper. You have a lot of options there. Even where I'm at, like within like 4 or 5 blocks, is at least 2 or 3 different smoothie shops and juicing shops. So you do have the option to eat healthy. That does exist. The lifestyle does exist, but when you first start out here, it's going to be challenging. And in addition to that, the liquor is way cheaper here. So that's another thing. I'll wait till Ivan get back on camera and we'll talk about that. We'll take a commercial break. Let's see if we can get some music going. Good.
Yeah.
Took a commercial break.
Yeah,
Hey,
on this video, so sorry, but at
yes.
least maybe I can show you what the food is all about. So give me just a moment.
Hey, you know what I was just saying before you oh snap. What kind of tacos is those?
We got pastor, which is like a seasoned pork,
Uh,
uh, chorizo, which is also pork, um, and bistec. Oh, I think he went out again. Give him a second to get back on.
oh man.
What are you doing, man? We're leaving a bad impression for everybody.
I don't even think that this is a Mexico problem. I think this is my computer problem right now. It's saying something about my version of Chrome. So again, y'all, this is the first podcast, so bear with us, y'all will live. But no, one thing I was saying to him is that the liquor here can be super cheap as well too. So to go along with like eating healthy, it's hard to eat healthy and it's hard to just like drink on a budget because the normal amount you might spend going out in the US, I mean, you could buy how many beers or how many shots you want um, with that type of money.
It's dangerous.
Yeah,
It's dangerous because a beer over here costs like $1, and I mean, if you go to a bar, like a regular bar, it costs like $2.
yeah,
Um, but it depends. Like if you go to more American places, like we got a Hooters here in Querétaro.
Uh-huh.
Hooters, if you get a beer there, they're like the same prices from United States. Nah, a little bit less, but
Yeah, man, almost, and that's one thing that I like to point out to people. Like, if you go to Wingstop or Hooters or McDonald's, even like most of them prices are still going to be the same as the U.S.
still the
because they're,
same.
yeah, close to the same or the same. They all franchises, so
Onion here, grilled
yeah,
onions.
the onions be super good. But let's dive into talking about just the culture here and like the language. I mean, that's one of the barriers for me, just learning the language and being able to communicate with people. And that's a question that a lot of people got, like, hey, how is it with you communicating with people? Somebody inboxed me earlier today, and what I told them is, one, that I do understand a good amount of Spanish, like to get me around or to at least read and know what I'm reading. And then in most of these spots, you will be surprised.
Ready.
Huh?
There's a lot of stuff posted in English already, so
Yeah.
you won't get lost or anything like that.
Yeah, and a lot of people speak English. That's what I was going to get at too. Like, if you go to a lot of places out here, especially where I'm at, because it's so close to the states, a lot of people speak English. But overall, you won't get lost. You'll be able to communicate somehow. And then everybody got a phone in their hand, so even if you have to get to that point, just pull out the phone, use Google Translate. But what's some type of traditions or customs that you had to get used to when you came here, as opposed to being in the U.S.?
Something that you hear a lot. It's like I guess like a kind of like a enjoy your meal type of thing.
Uh-huh.
When you're leaving a restaurant, oh, wiping the beers too. Remind me about that one. um, what's it called? When you're leaving like a restaurant, people are eating. It's a good gesture. You just say "bien provecho," which is like enjoy your meal. Another thing, this is not a good example because it's a bottle coke, but a lot of the drinks we have here, whether they're beer bottles, whether they're sodas, even mineral water, if it's in glass and it says it's returnable, you want to wipe it out because I mean they come with like these little metal tops, and sometimes there's a little bit of dust on them, so you just want to wipe them off. Um, that's a little bit different because I usually don't drink bottled returnable drinks from the United States.
Hey, so how about like holidays? Because that's one thing that I experience a lot. Like, it's a day for everything out here, and it seems like every time I wake up, it was a new day for something. I mean, I heard a yellow flower day, and then you have all of these regular holidays. But man, I cannot keep up. So is that one thing you had to adjust to, or was it shocking to you, even though you Mexican?
I mean, it's fun because you learn. So every town has like their saint, and they just throw a party, and everybody gets together and just brings stuff, food, drinks. There's always a reason to. There's always a reason to have some kind of fun here. Um, there's still a lot of them that I don't know about because there's just a whole bunch of them. But I feel like a lot of them are just like more to just enjoy each other's company with all the family and everything like that because um like I don't know much about the Saints about all those, but those seem to be the ones that come up a lot more often than others.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a good point too, just about the whole family culture here. And you can speak on that, how big family is in this country.
Nothing like United States, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's not to talk bad about my family in the United States, but the family that I have here, 3 years ago is when I barely met them. And I never met them before in my life. I just came over here because my grandma told me I have family in a different state, so I went to go visit them. And they didn't even know what I looked like. But when I got off the bus, they were there waiting for me. I ended up staying with them like about a month, and then but in that time frame, I feel like I became more familiar with them, more family with them than I ever have with the ones in the United States. So that was a big thing for me. It's definitely a lot different. I didn't expect that, but they all like to get together. They all like to together with each other and just really just. I mean, eating is a big thing here as far as like like just anything, just anything that has to do with food. They all get together and they enjoy each other's company. It doesn't take a lot of money to get that kind of stuff done with your family here. You probably would be better at talking about this because you've met a lot of people and made a lot of friends, and you've been invited a lot of places. And
Yeah, it's 100% different. I mean, everybody is welcoming, and I touched on this on like one of the short videos, but this is what podcast is for us to go deeper. But everybody's more welcoming. Like you'll meet somebody and they'll tell you right away if you need anything, call me. And it's not like somebody just bullshitting you just saying this. Like they authentically mean that. But um, the family culture is big. The friend culture is big. Even with my girls' family, like from day one, I just felt close to them. Anytime something goes on, I'm there. They embrace me right away, and it's just been the same way throughout my whole experience here. So that's one thing I do love, and you can come together for some of anything. Um, or if you have some type of need, those people will be there for you, regardless of if you're related to them or not. But
doesn't matter the time of day either, man. These people are they're really helpful and welcoming.
yeah, that's for real, bro. That is for real. Like even like for example, I Ubered to Walmart one day, and somebody I go to the gym with was there. They was like, "Hey, you want me to just drop you off right now?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll do it." So people are super helpful, man. They'll help you any type of way that they can. So that's a big change for me because even some of my own family back in the States, and I ain't scared to say it on camera, they don't do nothing. They don't support. They don't help you in no type of way. Even if it's a just a click or share button. Like say if I put this podcast up, for example, they won't even click the damn share button for it. As opposed to people here, I can just send a link to them. They're gonna send it to their whole goddamn family list. So that's the difference here. And I forgot to mention, Ivan, on the podcast, you can talk freely. Because you can say what you want because we going on all platforms. But yeah, man.
Speaking about the sharing, you have music. A lot of they play music at the gym, and it's
Oh
one of the biggest gyms in Tampico.
yeah, even when I was over there where you at, they played the music there.
Yeah,
Gym I go to out here, they'll say they'll find out that I do music and they'll literally just throw it on for the whole gym. And it ain't while I'm there, like even when I'm not there, it'll still be playing. So super supportive in all ways, man. And a lot of people have something to say about that, and a lot of people appreciate it. But it's definitely a thing that I love. Like it doesn't matter. And some people say, like I seen ignorant comments about Mexicans not liking black people, and that ain't been not my experience at all. Like even growing up in Chicago, I grew up around a lot of Mexicans. Like I grew up in a black neighborhood, but I always had Mexican friends, and I never experienced that. Only in gang culture, I seen Mexicans not like black people, but other than that, man, I think that's like something maybe way back in like the 60s or 70s, just like you have the whites that didn't like black people or other cultures. So that hasn't been my experience in a nutshell.
if anything, you get more attention than me when we go places.
Yeah, 100%, 100%, man. And people authentically like value you being here in a sense. But other than that, I mean, we'll dive deeper on those topics at another point. I guess what we can move on to is just like the adventure and exploration of
The best.
Mexico. Like, yeah, where you been? How was it? What's the best place you've been? I know we recently both just came back from Tulum. The people that's in our Black in Mexico group, they seen some of the pictures from it. So make sure you go join that group so you can get like the inside scoop from us. But what's the best places you've been, and just tell us about your experiences.
Well, okay. So I think every place has this thing. So I don't know if there's one best place that I can say. Like for example, I like San Luis because San Luis Potosí because it has a lot of food. It's very inexpensive to live there. But I also have some friends that I met there as well. Um, Tulum, when we went over there, that's probably the best beach that I've been to. I want to try to give you guys more examples of non-touristic points because you can take a there's an app where it costs like $10 to get to a different state where I take all the time.
Yeah.
I actually just got back from. Oh wait, no, I'll come back to that because then I'm just gonna start getting lost in it. Um, so San Luis for the food. I would say the best beach is gonna be Tulum that I've been to.
Uh,
Uh, but for example, like where you live. I think it's a since it's a lot cheaper, you can do a lot more to have fun there. And Tulum is a lot more expensive, but it's a lot nicer. It looks a lot nicer.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's on par with like maybe going to Miami or something like that. Maybe a little bit cheaper, but it's still like once you live in Mexico, like even when I first came here and he was saying like, hey, this Uber is too high or something like that. I was like, it's only $5. But now I'm at the point where I'm like, man, this Uber is $5. What the hell? So
Because it could be a lot cheaper. It could be a
yeah,
lot cheaper.
it can be a lot cheaper. So when you do get here and adjust to not paying those US prices, then Tulum will be expensive to you in a sense, even if you're making a lot of money, if that
Mhm.
makes sense to y'all.
Um, so as far as the best place, like I said, there's not a just one place. Honestly, once you get here, any place that Alan has gone to, he's liked it. And he's been to quite a few places already. I've been to all of Mexico already, and I would go back to any one of those states. Uh, yeah, I would go back to any one of those states. Either one of them would be fine for me. I would visit them 3, 4 times. But if you want a lot of variety, a lot of things like that, another good place to go to is like Mexico City. If you're used to, I mean, they got Popeyes over there. You got Vietnamese pho, whatever you say. Like,
Let's get them people away from Mexico City. I'll look, listen to all the black people tuned in. Would y'all please stop going to Mexico City? It's
there's
a whole country. Please explore
a
some.
lot more. There's a
There's
lot
a
more.
lot more places y'all can go than Mexico City. Y'all killing me with this. And hopefully we can shed some light on some other places. But I understand y'all want to feel comfortable. It's a good population of people there. But if you come into Mexico and you don't want to be around Mexicans, that don't make fucking sense to me. So
I guess that's a good start point for them too. If they do feel uncomfortable or they're not quite sure, they can always start in a spot like that, and then just like anybody else, like you can rent houses that are fully furnished, very cheap for like 3 months, four
mm,
months, if you want, and just move on to a different state. That's what I did.
yeah,
I
that's
like
a
in
good point.
each state, and that's how I kind of did it for a while.
That's a good point for sure. Okay, listen to Ivan. Move in if you feel comfortable, then move around. But please stop selling in there. Shit, that's one of the places where they complaining about gentrification, and that's something we'll talk about a little deeper on another podcast. But that's one of the main reasons they play complaining because it's getting super saturated there, and people getting priced out. But um, again, we'll expand on that at another point. But as far as like where I've been and how I feel about the different places I've been, like you said, Tulum definitely was the best beach I've seen so far. It's comparable to some of the beaches I've seen in the Dominican Republic as far as like the water wise.
When we
There
went to Cancun, it was still, I think the Tulum one is still better than the Cancun one. I mean, it's still the same area, but I
yeah,
was go back to Tulum instead of Cancun.
Tulum is way better. It's way more peaceful. Hopefully it doesn't lose that because it's starting to become a hotspot right now, and they're building that train system and a bunch of other things. Like they're expanding like crazy, but right now it's still a little bit of peace in Tulum, and Cancun is just party and
Yeah,
drugs
I
and
forgot about that. When we went over there, there's nothing but people out all night, just out at the clubs, and Tulum ain't like that. I mean, yeah, it is,
yeah, but it's
but
not
it's not at that level.
yeah, it's not
That
at that
level.
level, which makes it still bearable and nice, man. But yeah, that was a good experience. And even talking about Mexico City, that's a good experience. But even the small, like I want to see more smaller towns. I want to go off the beaten path. And
Oh, then can I talk about how we get around like that then, or no? Or is
yeah,
that
you
for now?
can go ahead. You can give them some insight, and then we'll dive deeper later. But you can let them know how you can get to it.
All right. So first of all, again, I don't drive. I do everything through Uber. But let's say, for example, um, let's see. If I want to go to, let me go look at the map.
Want me to pull it up? I can screen share.
Could you?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Uh, Damn, I had a private screen open.
Let me get a napkin.
All right. I'm pulling up the screen for y'all shortly. We need Jamie like Joe Rogan. Jamie, pull it up. Jamie like a damn encyclopedia, Google, AI all at the same time. That man pull up anything quick. Me percent.
Finished my soda already. Sad. I had to wipe my fingers up because they're all greasy and I'm trying to pull up this app.
Let me see. All right, can you see that?
Yeah, no, it's a little small. Make it a little bit, get a little closer.
Need a bigger screen, my boy. What are you trying to see on the map?
I'm just trying to pick a place to go from where I'm at right now. Well,
Okay.
I'll just pick Mexico City so that way they have an idea. A lot of people are interested in Mexico City anyway, so let me give them what they want. Let's see that Mexico. All right, I'm in a whole different state, right? I'm in Querétaro. Show them where Querétaro is on there, Alan. Maybe circle around it, something like that.
No circles. At least I don't know how to do that today. No circles for y'all. This
Yeah,
kid
now with the mouse because yeah, see if okay. All right, so that's Querétaro. I live in the central of Querétaro. Now show them where Mexico City is at.
is.
You went too far.
God damn, I'm way in Oaxaca
Where
right
it
here.
says, Estado de Mexico. There you go. There you go. All right. Leave your mouse right there. All right. Again, it's gonna be hard to see the price, but it costs 200 pesos, which is $10 for me to go to a whole different state whenever I want to. It's an app called BlaBlaCar that I use pretty often, and that's how I travel through all of Mexico with BlaBlaCar. I pay $10, maybe $20 at not even $20, like $15, and I can go to a whole different state, to a whole different city, and we call it puebleando, which is like I don't know how to say it in English. Like puebleando is like going town to town, so like just touristing to different towns or traveling through different small towns.
Mm.
Which we'll get to that later because we got the Pueblo Mágicos over here, which are called magic towns. And the Pueblo Mágicos are these small historical towns that they stay that way. They're not updated. They stay the same way that they've been before. There's some stores that have been updated and stuff like that. But as far as what it was all about, you find out the history. The people still, wear the boots. There's still cantinas. A lot of fun stuff. A lot of cool things you can see there. But the BlaBlaCar, you can go anywhere with it.
For
I
sure.
use it a lot, and it's very, very inexpensive. If I was in Arizona and I'd want to go to California, definitely won't cost $10, right? So, and it's only what, like a 5 hour drive from here to Mexico City is about 5 hours as well. No, 4 hours.
Mhm.
It's $10. So, for me to get to Allen, let me see. Show them on the map again where you're at, and I'm gonna show them how much it costs from here. Tampico. It's a little late, so I don't know if there is any rides. No, it's not gonna show me, but it'll probably cost me like $20 to get $20 to get to you, maybe 30. But
Yeah.
that's like across the country to get to you. But yeah,
If they don't want to go that route, I mean, we're going to discuss transportation routes, but you have a bus system that's luxury bus rides. It's not
yeah,
like the Greyhound or Mega Bus experience. Totally different from that. So we'll discuss that. We'll discuss safety and blah blah cars and how to actually utilize and find good rides that won't cancel on you and things like that. But we'll definitely dive into that a little bit deeper on another podcast. But just know it can be super affordable to get around and if you have that time to spare or you want to see the countryside and actually travel and do things that way, then it's totally possible out here. So that's the good
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah.
But I
I'll
mean,
show you pictures or photos, but I guess we can do that another time. Go
okay,
ahead.
for sure. No, I was about to say, other than that, we could talk about sense of community, but we expanded on it a little bit as far as like how people are helpful to each other. but I guess we could talk about like the expat community and what we see out here with that type of community. So y'all already know, of course, it exists heavily in Mexico City. It has a big expat community. You also have a lot of people in San Miguel, Jalisco, um, what do you call it, Tulum and Merida and all those different places. When we're in Tulum, we seen so much construction. I mean, you have people from other countries just investing or buying properties out there. So the expat population is growing. I think I read a stat that it says 2 million U.S. citizens live here, and that's just people that are on paper living here. That doesn't count people that's just like here on tourist visas and just staying and leaving and coming back. So
Like me, because that's how I got here. I just crossed the border and came over here. But by the way, guys, I'm also Mexican too. I just made myself a Mexican citizen not so long ago, so I can help out with a lot of questions you guys have. I'm a U.S. citizen and a Mexican citizen, so I really have the best of everything to be able to help you guys out.
for sure, and we have contacts with like migration offices and things like that. So that's something that if you're interested in, you can always shoot us an email and we'll talk to you about it and let you know how we can help you in that way. But just know, like, we have a lot of different services or resources to be able to just make your transition here a lot easier. So again, you'll learn more as you actually tune into what we're putting out here to you guys for sure. But you have anything else to say about like the community or just what you've seen with like expats or people being here? Like, how are they being treated, or what's the impact they're having, or just anything that you want to comment on the community here with that?
If you go out to eat, they're gonna recommend the best food for you. Um, if you're walking around, people are gonna help you out. Um, don't everything is so easy to get around and to work with that there's nothing you need to worry about. I Alan, I mean, dude, you're you're black. So, did you have any trouble? You go everywhere on your own now.
I was going, hey, like day two, I was going places on my own, but yeah, and that's another thing. Like but I can't say that because I'm not everybody not like me. Like I don't too much fear anything or feel like something's going to happen to me. But yeah, right away I was going different places on my own at Uber. Even if I couldn't communicate freely, like I was quick to call him or somebody else that spoke both languages and help them communicate for me. But
Google Translate.
yeah, and Google Translate. So yeah, I mean, it's totally safe in some regards. And then I went places had no problem. Everybody was warm and open and even willing to help you. Like if I went to a place, for example, and I was trying to communicate something that somebody didn't understand, they'll literally go and find somebody that can communicate with me and speak English and help me out that way. And they'll give you the best solution. Like I've been places where they didn't try to cheat you or beat you out of money for anything. Like they'll actually treat you like a person that's here. So that's the good thing. Now be aware in tourist towns. In tourist towns, they might try to upcharge you on something. But my experience,
That's so common. That's so common. But I mean, you're in a tourist town, so
yeah,
yeah, it's happened. But oh, another thing to kind of just go on the route of dangerous areas. Look, if you're looking for it, you're gonna find it. If you ain't, then you ain't. Enjoy your time. Enjoy your
uh,
time here. There's nothing to be worried about. A lot of people, give Mexico a bad rap, but I mean,
saw the videos online, like that one video with the guy, like they was going down a road somewhere and they thought that they was somebody else, like they was some rivals, and they pulled up on them. But it's like a viral video. So when people see shit like that, they expect it to be like that on the daily. Like you just automatically getting your ass pulled up on and pulled out of your car, which is craziness. But listen to what he's saying. Listen to the real Mexican.
yeah, like I was saying, if you're looking for it, you're gonna find it. If you wanna, I mean, that's the easiest way to say it because if you're minding your own business, enjoying all the tourist locations, or even just any small towns, wherever you go, If you go to a bar, you're fine. If you're drinking, you're gonna make some friends, listen to some music, learn some new words. That's all fine. Now, if you're getting into, I mean, I don't even know how you would start getting into that. If you start looking for a lot more things, then just like United States or anywhere else, you end up finding something you don't want to find.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. And people make it seem like everything is bad in every single pocket. And that's just like the U.S. You go on one side of town, that's the bad area. You go on another side, it's the good area. So a lot of that exists. And then one thing, like as far as crime, like I haven't seen too many people stealing stuff. I haven't seen a school shooting, for example. I haven't seen
Yeah,
none.
I don't think I've ever seen a school shooting here, or
Yeah,
even one.
you can Google it and not even find nothing on Google, but it's a lot safer in a lot of aspects. Like I haven't heard about anything like that. I haven't heard of a stabbing or something crazy like that.
Mm, me neither. And it's funny that you say that. It's crazy that you say about the school shooting because that shit happens every other day in the United States. But
It's crazy, man. It ain't
the
funny, y'all. I'm not laughing because it's funny, but that shit is crazy. And they make this country to be the villain, but that stuff goes on daily in the states. I think last year at the no this year the start of the year I think it was like 20 shootings before the end of the month of January ended. It's crazy
where
in the
where
U.S. In the
no,
U.S.
I thought like you saw a specific area or something like that.
Nah, it was different spots, man. It's crazy, but yeah, I mean, next episode we'll be diving deeper into like a little more topics that can help you guys out. Some of the things are going to be informative and entertaining at the same time, but it's good information that you should know overall, and we'll keep it coming. But feel free to always email us or write us in any way that you can contact us and send us topics you want us to talk about. We'll be bringing people on to interview, like restaurant owners, for example, other expats, people that's considering moving here. You'll be able to hear stories of other people for sure. So, again, any questions you guys might have, just definitely reach back out to us. Anything you want to say, Ivan, in closing?
Mm, we're look, we've been here some time, especially myself. I'm pretty knowledgeable uh, in any aspect. I've been around everywhere. Um, I'm here to help. I'm here to help and help you guys make a transition over here. And there's a lot of people that say they want to come over here and they just don't make that jump. When me and Alan were first going to be doing our business, we said let's just do it, and he wrapped up all his stuff in a month and came over here to Mexico. There's a lot of people that I see that just want to sell all their stuff and just make that move.
Yeah, for sure. And
Don't be
one thing that I didn't plug into there is for those who don't know, you can visit black the letter N Mexico.com, and we actually are developing courses to help you guys make that transition so you can learn in a video format the things you need to know more in depth as far as like the immigration processes or safety or how to get to this place and that place. So it goes super in depth. If you would like an outline of the course, I mean the same thing, just email us about it. But that's one of the things we are building to help you guys, and we're making it affordable. Like I've seen some programs online where people charging $500 and above, and we're going nowhere near that. And you're learning from people that's actually here, integrated in the society. I'm not leaving at all. He's not leaving at all. We're here. We're really out here. We're not just in the tourist towns and just sticking in that little nutshell or that radius. We actually explore this place so and have resources to be able to help you guys out. So definitely just check out blackinmexico.com and go from there.
Yep, yep. And I'm not sure what else to say. Just know that we're very knowledgeable in everything that we're doing. We can help out in many aspects, help you make your move over here, your transition as easy as possible. And I think I think the best part of it is that we're just like you guys, and we're just like you guys still. Same things you're looking for: a nice place to relax. Maybe you still want to work. Maybe you're someone in our younger crowd that wants to come over here and work. I work from home still too, so Alan does too. We have our side things that we do as well, but as far as working from home, we do that no problem. We can help out with all those things for you to be able to make that change.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Well, guys, until next time, definitely just check out all those resources we have online and check out the videos on YouTube. And then we'll be back with another episode soon. So catch you in a minute.
Have a good one.
All right, y'all.